Rumpelstiltskin. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a poor miller. He was a simple man, working hard every day, grinding grain into flour. He had very little money, very few belongings, but he had one treasure in his life: his daughter. She was a gentle girl with a kind heart, bright eyes, and a beauty so soft and pure that people often stopped just to look at her. But more than her beauty, the miller loved her wisdom. She was clever, calm, and always spoke with respect. The miller felt proud of her, sometimes too proud. One day, while standing in the royal court among many people, he wanted to impress the king. The king was known for being powerful, but also greedy. He loved gold more than anything else in the world. Even the sound of gold coins made him smile. Trying to gain the king's attention, the miller said loudly, "My daughter is so talented, she can spin straw into gold." The room fell silent. People turned. The king lifted his eyebrows. The miller felt a sudden fear inside, but he could not take his words back. The king stepped closer to him and said slowly, "Is this true? Your daughter can turn ordinary straw into shining gold?" The miller swallowed hard. His pride had trapped him. "Yes, Your Majesty, she can." The king smiled. "Bring her to the palace," he ordered. And so, the miller's daughter was taken from her small, peaceful home to the grand, cold palace of the king. That night, the king led her to a large chamber. The room was filled with piles of straw, dry. In the center stood a spinning wheel. The king looked at her and said, in a sharp, hard voice, "If you can spin all this straw into gold by morning, you shall live. But if you fail, you will lose your life." Her heart trembled. Her hands shook. She tried to speak, but no words came out. When the king shut the heavy door, she felt a fear she had never known. She sat down on a small stool, stared at the straw, and tears rolled down her cheeks. "How can I do this?" she whispered. "No one can turn straw into gold." Her tears fell to the floor. Suddenly, tap, 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 she heard soft footsteps. She looked up quickly. Out of the darkness appeared a strange little man. He was short, with sharp eyes that glittered like tiny stars. His smile was thin, mysterious, but not unfriendly. "Good evening, miller's daughter," he said in a tiny voice. "Why are you crying?" She wiped her tears and told him everything: the king's command, her fear, her impossibility of the task. The little man nodded slowly. "I can help you," he whispered, "but what will you give me in return?" She looked down. She had nothing, except the small necklace around her neck, the one her mother had given her before she died. "My necklace," she said softly. "I will give you my necklace." The little man's eyes sparkled. "Done." He sat at the spinning wheel and began to work. The wheel spun fast, so fast that it glittered. Straw entered, gold came out. All night long he worked, and by sunrise, the room shone with heaps of beautiful glowing gold. When the king entered, he gasped. His greed grew stronger.
But instead of rewarding her, he took her to another room, bigger, higher, filled with even more straw. "Spin all of this into gold by morning," the king demanded. "If you succeed, perhaps I may reward you." He left her again, and again she cried. The little man appeared once more. "What will you give me this time?" he asked. She removed a small ring from her finger. "My ring. Please help me." He agreed. Again he worked through the night, spinning every piece of straw into glittering gold. At sunrise, the king's eyes widened. His greed had no limit now. The king took her to the largest room in the palace. A mountain of straw stood before her. "This is the last time," the king said. "If you turn all the straw into gold, I will make you my queen." When the door closed, the girl fell to her knees. She had nothing left to give. No jewelry, no belongings, nothing. The little man appeared again, slowly this time. He looked at her face and said, "What will you give me?" I have nothing," she cried. "Nothing at all." The little man folded his arms. "You will be queen," he said softly. "You will have everything, but I want one thing. If I spin this straw into gold tonight, you must promise me your first child." She froze. Her child? Her future baby? But death was standing at her door, and if she refused, the king would kill her. "I promise," she whispered. "I promise you my first child." "Good," said the little man, and he began to spin. By morning, every last piece of straw had turned to pure gold. The king kept his word. He married her, and she became the queen of the land. But in her heart, she carried a silent fear. 1 year later, the queen soon forgot the little man. Life became peaceful. Then one shining day, she gave birth to a beautiful baby boy. She held him close, tears of joy filling her eyes. But joy turned to terror when, tap, 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 she heard that familiar sound. The door opened, and the little man stepped inside. "I have come for what you promised," he said. The queen trembled. "No, please, please don't take my child. Take gold, take jewels, take the whole kingdom, but not my baby." "I want no treasure," he said firmly. "I want what is mine." The queen cried so much that even the strange little man softened. "Fine," he said. "I will give you 3 days. If you can guess my name before the 3rd night, you may keep your child." And he disappeared. The queen could not sleep that night. Her baby lay peacefully in her arms. She kissed her forehead again and again, whispering, "I will not lose you. I will not let anyone take you from me." The next morning, she called all her servants. She ordered them to bring her lists of every name in the kingdom, every boy's name, every man's name, every old forgotten name. The servants rushed in and out, carrying papers filled with words. The queen stayed awake the whole night, reading every name she could find. When the little man appeared on the 1st night,
She sat up straight and said quickly, "Is your name Adam?" "No," the little man whispered. "Thomas?" "No." "Robert? Elias? Kareem? Samuel? Jonah?" "No, no, no." He laughed. "Your time is almost over," he said softly, and he vanished. The next morning, she ordered her messengers. "Ride to every corner of the kingdom. Listen in the markets. Listen in the villages. Ask the travelers. Search near the rivers, the mountains, the forests. Bring me every name you hear." Her messengers left immediately. All day long the queen waited and prayed. In the evening, the messengers returned, breathless, carrying scrolls and papers full of names. The queen sat on the floor with her baby in her arms, reading, whispering, hoping. When the little man appeared on the second night, she tried again. "Is your name Ferris?" "No." "Hector?" "No." "Benedict, Ruhan, Zafir, Leon, Casper?" "No, no, no." The little man twirled happily. "You will not guess. Not tonight, and maybe not ever." The queen felt tears in her eyes, but she did not give up. Later that night, when the palace was silent, she sat beside her sleeping baby. She stroked his tiny hands and whispered, "How can I save you? How can I guess the name of a man who hides in shadows, who appears and disappears like smoke, who knows magic older than time?" The third day arrived. The queen felt a cold heaviness in her chest. By sunset, if she could not guess the name, her child would be gone forever. She paced the room. Her hands trembled, her lips whispered prayers. Suddenly, the door burst open. Her most loyal messenger ran inside, his clothes dusty, his breath fast. "Your Majesty," he gasped, "I found something strange, something very, very strange." The queen rushed toward him. "Tell me, did you find a new name? Did you discover something?" The messenger nodded. "I rode deep into the forest, farther than I have ever gone before. There I heard a strange sound, a voice singing. I followed the voice and found a small clearing with a fire burning in the middle. A little man was dancing around the fire, spinning, laughing, and he was singing words I have never heard in my life." The queen's heart nearly stopped. What was he singing? She whispered. The messenger swallowed and repeated, "Tonight, tonight my plans I make. Tomorrow, tomorrow the child I will take. The queen will never win this game, for Rumpelstiltskin is my name." The queen's breath trembled. She held her baby tight. The final night. The queen sat on her bed of the royal room holding her child. The little man appeared in the center of the room, smiling, certain of victory. "Well, queen, have you learned my name?" The queen looked calm, too calm. She began slowly. "Is your name Michael?" The little man shook his head. "Daniel?" "No." She pretended to think. "Or perhaps is it Rumpelstiltskin?" The little man froze. His smile fell. Then, "No, no, no!" he screamed. He stomped the floor so hard that a crack opened beneath him. "How did you learn my name? Who told you? This cannot be. This must not be."
The queen stepped back, holding her baby tightly. The little man shouted again, louder than thunder, and suddenly the floor split open. With a scream full of anger and shock, he fell into the darkness and vanished forever. The queen pressed her baby to her chest, crying with joy. She whispered, "You are safe. You are mine. No one will ever take you again." And she had won.
If this story touched your heart, please give the video a like. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And yes, remember to press the bell icon and leave your sweet comment too.